Hello, I'm Bayero Agabi. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Hello, Africa. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.
Hello and welcome to Cyber Africa on Kakaki the African Voice, and I am Bayero Agabi. Cyber Africa is meant to x-ray issues and development trending on the cyberspace through the smart use of technology. Our focus today is a special one. We are turning our spotlight on Africa's biggest telecom regulator and its leadership. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, Professor Umar Garba Dapata, unveiled an 8-point agenda aimed at growing the telecoms industry from 2015 to 2020. In a passionate and comprehensive presentation during the Air National Press Conference, Dapata said his leadership will focus on 8-point pillars rest on a tripod of A's, which includes availability of service, accessibility of service, and affordability of service in line with the Buhari change agenda. In his words, the pillars of growth and development of the industry will include facilitate broadband penetration, include quality of service, optimize usage and benefits of spectrum, promote ICT innovation and investment opportunities, facilitate strategic collaboration and partnership, protect and empower consumers, promote fair competition and inclusive growth, ensure regulatory excellence and operational efficiency. He noted that the new agenda will promote innovation, investment and competition alongside consumer empowerment in line with the current change vision. He further said the strategic vision 2015 to 2020 is a way setting out the foundation for future growth and competitiveness that will be sustainable and inclusive and will address our principal societal challenges as a nation. In addition, create platforms for social benefits which will target the nation's growth. Dapata noted that the ideas drive the world today, and Nigeria must create wealth through application, knowledge, and creativity. In line with this thought, we had what he referred to as his first one-on-one interview since assuming office as EVC of NCC. Stay with us. I am Bayero Agabi.
Wondering how to benefit in the new digital world? Join the NBC Nigeria Pavilion at CAPSAT 2016, the #1 broadcast, satellite and digital media event for the Middle East, Africa and South Asia in Dubai. CAPSAT will feature content creation, management, distribution and monetization, also featuring digital switchover, content marketplace for producers and investors, policymakers and regulators, satellite communication service providers, broadcast equipment suppliers, motion pictures, digital media, music producers and cinema houses. For participation, reach NBC on 0803 326 4035 or TMC 0706 126 6691. Date 8 to 10th March 2016 at the World Trade Center, Dubai. Email us at bayeroagabi@gmail.com. CAPSAT, #1 broadcast, satellite and digital event in the Middle East, Africa and Asia. Don't miss it. Supported by...
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Byron.
It's good to have you in Ibadan.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the welcome.
How do you see this kind of stakeholders summit, for communications coming at this time that you're also new as the new EVC and the communications minister is also a new communications minister?
So thank you very much, Byron. I think the basis for this retreat is to come up with an agenda that will shape the deployment of information and communication services in the country. And before you arrive at such an important agenda, you need to conduct a retreat of the kind that we're doing now, so that you sensitize the stakeholders, by getting their suggestions as well as observations on the best way forward in arriving at an acceptable, relevant agenda for the Nigerian nation.
Some others say that because we have had similar stakeholders meeting, and what they could call it was just, it became like just a jamboree. From the content of the presentation that you have had today.
No, I don't agree, although people are entitled to their opinions. I think why a retreat of this kind is also important is to enable the ministry, as well as agencies under the ministry, to evaluate the progress that has so far been made, during the last street. Probably, I was not here, in the implementation of a similar agenda, in order to identify areas that, need to be revisited, as well areas that have not been implemented. Those can now spill over to this new agenda that we're trying, to come up with. So therein lies the importance of whatever it is that we're doing now. This is a continuous process. When you come up with goals, strategies, as well as, projects, including expected outcomes for the implementation of the agenda, there is always a provision for monitoring and evaluation the progress so far.
Unarguably, you are the biggest regulator on the continent of Africa. Africa can be the largest, blank, continent in the world. That means a lot is on your shoulder. Do you feel like, when we put it now, a fish out of water at any time when you were, engaged to pilot this agency?
Well, I think I would like to correct an impression. I am not, a newcomer to the industry, and by no means to the NCC. I was at one time the vice president of the Digital Bridge Institute, which is the training arm of the commission. So some of the staff, in the commission, then were even trained, by staff of the DVI, in the areas of, spectrum management, competition, and so on and so forth. So I'm not exactly new. I am a graduate of telecommunications engineering, a registered engineer, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I will leave it there. I think the regulatory functions assigned to the NCC, courtesy of the Act establishing the Commission, those are functions deliberately assigned to ensure effective regulation of the sector. And the Act empowers the Commission to employ, the right caliber of staff in order to achieve this important mandate given to us, courtesy of the Act. And we are not, the foremost telecommunications regulator out of nothing. We came a long way because of the concerted efforts made by successive administration of the Commission to train staff of the Commission, so that, what we're looking at, in the Commission now, is a well-motivated, talented workforce that is assisting the EVC to manage effectively the affairs of regulation in a way and manner that it is effective, transparent, and impartial.
Okay. Yeah. There's one thing that bothers the minds of many. It has gone through so many predecessors. That is the quality of internet. A lot of Nigerians say the internet will be the major force of change, because that is where innovation and creativity will come, that will spur younger entrepreneurs to create businesses. Yeah. But the quality of internet is seldom focused on, as you focus a lot of attention on the voice communication. Are we going to see a change in your administration?
Okay. Well, thank you very much. The penetration rate, the internet penetration at the moment is about 70%. meaning 97 million Nigerians have access to the internet. Now, the quality, like you rightly said, of the internet, is an issue. And in order to address effectively the quality of internet services, we need to go back a little bit and look at the infrastructure that is being used to host internet services in the country. I make bold to say the infrastructure is still at a formative stage, and as such, there's what we call, a glaring digital divide. This digital divide is occasioned by 3 to 4 subdivides, 3 components or 4. There's the infrastructure component, because we are really, deficient in infrastructure. And this I can buttress by quoting the World Economic Forum report, which places Nigeria in position 134 in terms of infrastructure out of 144. So we are there at the bottom 10.
That takes us to your major focus in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years that Nigeria should see. Maybe Nigerians can judge you by.
Yeah.
What are those your major focus?
Well, Vero, I have, let me admit to the Nigerian public through this medium that we have prepared what we call our strategic vision for the next 5 years of my stewardship at the helm of affairs of the Commission. And we intend to unfold this strategic vision.
Let's now go to the burning issue. Globally, it's no longer news that oil is going down, on a downward trend that no one can even predict how low it's going to go.
Yeah.
And the focus is now on the knowledge economy, if you like, ICT, to create the job that nations require to grow.
Yeah.
And do you see Nigeria as well positioned to take advantage of this ICT as a way to support the economy to replace oil?
I strongly believe that if government is thinking of an alternative to oil and gas, then the telecommunications sector presents such a formidable and potent alternative, provided, the required level of investment, can be made in the sector. Like I said, to address, inadequacy in infrastructure. I'm happy to observe that the environment, to attract foreign investment, has improved. The atmosphere has improved. Government could do more by relaxing, policies, in order to even attract more investments into the country. If we can do this, invest in infrastructure, adequately, attract foreign investments in the same area, that is in telecommunications, then I see the telecommunications sector playing a significant role, not necessarily, taking the place of the gas and oil sector, but definitely this is a sector that is the fastest growing, even in Nigeria. And all we need to do is do the necessary things by way of investments, by way of relaxation of policies to attract, investments, and the results are there, to be reaped. I strongly believe.
All the access points for internet are all in Lagos, from May 1 to Sat1 to WAX, Glow 1, all seated in Lagos.
Yes.
Last mile is still an issue. That if you go to Maiduguri, you go to Kano, you go to Edo, you are not likely to have a good quality internet service. All this rests on your shoulder. Do you have any plan to ensure that broadband connectivity across Nigeria becomes not too much of a headache?
We have, in that direction, concluded virtually a process of licensing of new infracos for the 5 zones of the country. These zones include the Northeast, the Northwest, and Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. That will leave Lagos, which is already licensed. Main one is licensed with an infraco license. as well as Abuja, which is licensed, the IHS, the Infrastructure Holding Services Company, has been granted license to deploy, massive, broadband infrastructure in those two zones. It is deliberate. The reason for license Lagos is because of the very strategic economic importance that Lagos plays in the life of this country, and that it is expected to do so, also in future. And Abuja, lies, within the North Central Zone. But the process for licensing of Impracos, has not lost the significance of ensuring that the other zones, are also licensed. And this process is about to be concluded, and you will see improvement in deployment of broadband infrastructure consistent with the national broadband vision, as a result of which broadband services, will be rolled out in zones of the country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Byron.
Yes,
My pleasure.
Yes, just on a lighter note.
What?
You use the internet.
I do.
Are you happy with the quality?
Quality of service, like I said, the speed, I'm not happy with the speed. We can do a lot to improve the internet speed that we're having to contend with now. The way to do it, you can ask other experts, other professionals, internet professionals. They will tell you that the answer to the current problem of low internet speed is deployment of broadband services.
Well, that is the show for the week. If you have any comment or suggestions, please send them to bayeragabi@yahoo.com, or better still, you can still watch cyberafricatv.com on YouTube, or you can also text us. Until next week, I remain yours sincerely, Bayero Agabi. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Bayero Agabi. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Well, hello, Africa. Well, hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.